So now we've got the stain on the countertops. I've got 3 coats, I think, and I kind of lightly sanded in between coats and a little steel wool. And we've got it, you know, fairly close to the color that Corie wants. She might have wanted it a little bit darker, but I don't know that it's going to take anymore, so I'm going to probably steel wool this top coat a little bit and get some of the air bubbles out and get some of that sheen off of it. Then it's going to be time to start putting coats of polyurethane on. We're going to use a water-based polyurethane. That's what I did with mine at home. Took several coats, but it turned out pretty good, and after it cures, it's pretty durable. We've had that on there almost 10 years, and we've had no problems with it at all. And it gives it a kind of a top coat that's not real shiny, and I think that's what she wants, and that's what we wanted as well. But I'm going to go ahead and get this process started because it's going to take multiple coats. And in between the coats, I've got other stuff to be doing. I'm going to build closet shelving and places, you know, clothes rods for them to put their clothes on. They don't have anything in those closets. There used to be some old shelving, and one of them had, I think, the white wire shelving, and they didn't like that, and I don't much like it either. I mean, it works fine, but it's just to me, it's a pain to deal with and put up. So I'm going to build back in either sides of the closet. I'm going to build wood cubbies. That's back behind the wall. That's kind of hard to get to anyway, and I think this will make better use out of it. I'm going to build shelves up, and I'll show that as I'm doing it and when we get done with it. And all that's going to come all the way up on either side and end at the top with a closet rod with a shelf the full length of the closet on top. And I think that'll make better use of the space, in other words. So I'm going to get started trying to get this done first and get a coat on it, and while that's drying, then I'm going to get set up and get started on one of the closets at least anyway. Okay, now I've got the first coat of polyurethane on. I'm going to let it dry. According to the jar or the can, it says 2 to 3 hours, and then lightly sand it and then go over it again. And while I'm waiting on this to dry, I'm going to get started on building the closet shelving and hang the closet rods and that sort of thing. So that's what I'm going to do in between coats on the polyurethane so that I can stay busy. Okay, so here's the frame for the little shoe rack that I'm building. I just ripped it out of actually it's out of the same oak plywood that we built the countertops out of. I just ripped some little 1-inch strips and built a frame that this piece of plywood for the shoe rack can fit on, and I'll shoot those in. All right, so what I'm doing here in Austin and Corie's closet is I'm building a little shoe rack that kind of conforms to how the closet's built. And then on either side, on these little sides here where it's kind of back in the closet on either side, I'm going to build just a little series of cubbies all the way up to the height of where the curtain rod's going to go. And then I'll build them a shelf on top of that. And I think that's I mean, they'll lose a little space of their hanging clothes, but it ends up being a better use of the space. The shoes here, I used a pair of Austin shoes just to see how they fit. Kind of measured off of his since he has a bigger foot. So you can put shoes there. They could actually separate his shoes from hers, and you could do another set of shoes underneath, and that way they're not out in the walkway. You can still step inside the closet, I don't know, 8 or 10 inches or so, and that's about as far as you're going to go anyway, because it's only about 18 inches deep. So I'm going to build on up each side and put the closet rod on, and we'll see how that turns out. So the other day I was talking about the old jigsaw that I found that belonged to Pap, and I had to use it again today, and this is it. I thought I'd show it. I don't know how old this thing is. It's probably older than I am. You pick it up, and I bet it weighs 5 pounds, and it says on it, Sears Craftsman Industrial Saber Saw. So it's been around a long time. I had to use it today to cut out because I didn't have a hole saw. I had to use it to cut out closet rod holes, and that's kind of difficult, but it worked. The old cord on this thing is all tattered and taped up, and it's got sawdust all packed in it, and it's been used a whole lot. And I can remember using it when we built our house, and I'm sure it has worked in this house that I'm in today, Corie's house. So that's just kind of a neat thing for something to last that long. And it's not one of those plastic bodied things like the new ones are. It's quite heavy made, and it'll probably just keep on going. I may clean it up and either fix this cord or put a new cord or something on it and just keep using it. I mean, there's no reason not to use it as long as it's still working. So here's the closet work that I've been doing. I made a little shoe rack on the bottom, place to put shoes on top of and under if they want to. Made some little cubby holes back inside where you could put folded clothes and that sort of thing. I have some on the other side. And then up top, I just build a shelf with a closet rod built into it overhead, and I used the oak plywood for that we used on the countertops the other day. We had some left over. Turned out pretty well. That should make pretty good use of the space. It's a long closet, but it's not very deep. It's only about a 20-inch deep closet, but this will help maximize some of the space. I think it turned out pretty well. So now I guess I'm gonna have to get back to working on putting the final finish on the countertops now that I've got this done. So I got through, I think, with the closet, Austin's bedroom closet. Ended up taking most of the day. I did get one coat of poly on this morning, and I thought, you know, in between what I was doing back there, I would come in here and sand and put another coat on. Well, it didn't exactly work out that way. I had so much math going in my head, I didn't want to lose it, and trying to think ahead and keep ahead of what I was doing, so I just stayed with that till I got it finished. Now it's past supper, so I think I'm going to save this for in the morning. I'll come and sand this down a little bit and put another coat on it and let that dry, and I'm going to have to go to town and pick up a few things. I've got to get a frame, or buy the stuff to build a frame for a bifold door for the closet that I just did. So I think that's going to do it for this video. So I'll pick it up again tomorrow and just put that on a different video. So hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll see if we can get this thing finished up and see what y'all think of it. It's come together, looks pretty good for an old guy like me that's not done this in a long time, but it definitely is it's a whole lot of work, but I kind of enjoy it. I used to do this all the time. I've just not done it in a long time. I'm a little rusty, so hope y'all enjoyed it and come back and help us celebrate Appalachia.